Marty Hart thinks he is a good man. He will tell you that himself. Regular guy, family man. Does the job, comes home, keeps things in order. And next to Rust Cohle, the nihilist, the drifter, the man who says out loud that human consciousness is a mistake, Marty looks completely reasonable. That is exactly what the show wants you to think. Because True Detective is not just the story of two men hunting a killer. It is the story of one man who knew he was broken, and another who never once considered the possibility. Watch how Marty carries himself in those 2012 interviews. He is calm, composed. He frames everything neatly. Here is what happened. Here is what Rust was like. Here is how I held things together. He positions himself as the anchor, the stable one, the man who kept a difficult partnership from falling apart. He believes in the right things, family, loyalty, doing the job properly. He has opinions about how a man should live. And in the very same episodes, where he is telling Rust that a man without a family has nothing real to hold on to, he is driving away from his affair. The show places these two things next to each other. No music, no comment, no dramatic reveal. It just lets you see it. Most people remember this scene as Marty losing his temper. Look at it more carefully. He is not angry because he was wronged. He is angry because someone he treated as his to control made a choice without him. He had been having an affair with this woman for months. He gave her nothing real. And the moment she moved on, he broke her door down. The same pattern runs through how he handles his daughters. When Audrey starts showing signs that something is wrong, Marty does not ask what happened. He shuts it down, manages how it looks, protects the image of a normal family rather than the family itself. And then there is the moment he executes Ledoux. Rust was outside, watching Ledoux, waiting. Marty went into the house, found two children chained up inside, one already dead, walked back out and pulled the trigger. No warning, no words, no hesitation. And here is the part most people miss. Rust does not stop him. He looks at what just happened and starts building a cover story around it. He fires an assault rifle into the forest, plants evidence, makes the scene match a version of events that never happened. His exact words to Marty: "Good to see you commit to something." That cover story follows them for 17 years. And Marty, the man who believes in order, in doing things the right way, carries that lie without it seeming to cost him very much at all. Here is what makes Marty genuinely interesting, rather than just unlikable. He is not lying to you, he is lying to himself. And those are completely different things. Rust Cohle knows exactly who he is. He has no illusions about his own darkness. He names it. He carries it in the open. And however bleak that is, it is a kind of honesty. Marty has built his whole identity around being a decent man. That identity is so central to how he functions that examining it would mean watching everything collapse. So he never does. The affairs stay separate from the family in his mind. The violence stays separate from his sense of justice. The failures with his daughters stay separate from his belief that he is a good father. He keeps the compartments sealed, and he keeps moving. Maggie says it plainly, years later, to the detectives. Marty didn't know who he was, so he never knew what he really wanted. Not because he was stupid, but because knowing would have required him to stop. None of this means Marty is beyond reach. The show does not argue that. By the end, he has lost almost everything. The marriage, years with his daughters, the version of himself he had been protecting his whole adult life. And when his family walks into that hospital room, his reaction is real, unguarded, maybe the first genuinely honest moment he has in the whole series. But here is what True Detective is actually doing. By putting these two men next to each other for 8 episodes. Rust Cohle frightened people, his nihilism, his intensity. his refusal to pretend things were fine. All of it read as dangerous. But Marty Hart was leaving damage behind him in every room he walked through. At home, at work, in every relationship that got close enough to see him clearly. And he did all of it, while telling himself, the whole time, that he was one of the good ones. The landscape of True Detective, the decay, the rot underneath surfaces that look ordinary, was never just about the case. It was about the man driving the car. Most people finish True Detective thinking about Rust Cohle, his philosophy, his darkness, his line about the light winning, and Rust deserves that. But the show gave you Marty Hart for a reason. Rust knew he was lost. He said so, openly. Marty never did. And the show leaves you with a quiet question. Which one of those is actually more dangerous?